The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We are back here at the studios of WGNS for the Coaches Show, which is brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at CraigsTaxService.com. Time to talk to Will Kriesky, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. Had loss on the road last night, 7-0 to Beach. It wasn't the biggest offensive output for either team last night, and just kind of a weird game from the get-go, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We started off, we received the opening kickoff, moved the ball a little bit, then punted to them. They moved the ball, then punted back to us, and then we went into a lightning delay. So we had to go back inside for 30 minutes. I thought the kids handled it well. Then we come back outside, and it's pouring rain, really hard. And so we had to adjust to that and play to that. We, like you said, we moved the ball well. We only punted it one time, but we had 3 turnovers inside Hendersonville's 35-yard line. And when you got a kicker like Cleo or Mom, we got to protect the football when we're down there. That's 9 points we gave up right there. We turned it. All 3 of those turnovers happened inside the 35 on second down. 2 interceptions and a fumble. So our guys up front, I'm really still proud of how the O-line played. I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage. They gave the quarterbacks plenty of time in the pocket at times. We just got to do a better job offensively, making plays, connecting on those passes. We've overshot a few, underthrown some. Just not on the same page right now, and that's what happens. And we got to keep getting better. We'll get it fixed. Coach Barnes is going to work on it. And I mean, it's only week 3 of the season, and Beach is going to make a good run this year. They're a very talented team. Caden Powell, their quarterback, is an unbelievable kid. He's committed to Kentucky for baseball, and he led that team last night and got one drive in him, and he got him in the end zone. He took over that drive and ran the ball and got down and snuck it in from the 1-yard line. But I can't brag on our kids enough of how hard they played for 4 quarters. I mean, we had the chance. In the fourth quarter, we punted it to them, and we held them. I had 3 timeouts, caught all 3, and they punted back. So we gave our offense the ball at 45 with a minute to go and no timeouts. So we had the ball with a chance to tie the game or go for 2 and win, all the way up to the final second. So yeah. It went down to the final horn.
Well, and I know you'd rather had 2 minutes at the end and 2 timeouts. I mean, you could always want more in that situation, but to have a chance, that's the big thing. But there were a laundry list of other things that happened in that game, and I want to go back to the delay. How long was that delay? Was it about 45 minutes or so?
It was around 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was they said 7:16 whenever they called it, and then we got to go back out and start warming up around 7:40.
Yeah. I saw that. So I mean, you never know what you're going to have when you go on the road, where you're going to have to be holed up and all of those kinds of things. So I guess that was okay and accommodating.
Yeah, it was. They put us in the upstairs gym, and we were kids were fine. We were, it was good. Nothing crazy. And I thought our kids handled it well and came out ready to play. They were just excited as the beginning of the game as coming back out after the rain delay or the lightning delay.
And the rain, it rained for a good part of the game, didn't it?
Yeah, it rained the majority of the first half. I guess all the first half and a little bit of the second half. We only had a 10-minute halftime since we had that rain delay or that lightning delay in there, and then come back out and it rained a little bit, but it quit by the fourth quarter. So we were able to settle down and do some things. And we played again. We played both quarterbacks. Both of them did good things at times, and at times didn't do very good things. But again, that's part of the growing pains we got to go through and keep getting better and keep coaching these kids up.
So I know that coaches don't like the blame game, but did the weather affect the turnovers last night, or was that something else?
No, I don't think so. We bobbled a snap and dropped it. You could say it's wet, but I mean it was wet for both teams. They bobbled a snap on 4th down, and we got the ball inside their 45 on a 4th down play. So we had a field goal block. They had a field goal block. It was really crazy how identical the game was flowing all night.
Yeah, and that Did you block their field goal before yours?
No, they blocked ours. I tried a really long field goal, and it was going to be really hard. But I thought, Khalil would at least get it to the end zone, the back of the end zone, and they'd get the ball at the 20-yard line.
Because there was no score for the longest in the game.
Nobody scored until like 8 minutes to go in the game.
Well, I mean, when you have that going on, it's late third quarter, nobody scored. Yeah. You kind of rolled the dice a little bit. That might have been a decision if you were up by a touchdown or down by a touchdown. You might have decided to do something different.
We may have tried a quick kick or punt or do something different. But we were just trying to give ourselves a chance, an opportunity. 3 points, you never know, because he was hitting them during warm-ups.
Yeah.
But he had to win against helping him a little bit at warm-ups. But still, he's got a strong leg, and when you have a kid like that, you might as well give yourself a chance.
Well, and that was going to be my point. When you have a leg like that, which is a luxury to have, and the experience there, I mean, you don't mind trotting a kid out there and saying, give your team a chance.
Exactly. Exactly. I believe in him, so I'm going to give him opportunities.
Absolutely. I'm sure you had to use him last night to try to flip the field a little bit, too. Did that work out okay?
Yeah. Well, now, Miles Weaver's our punter, but, again, we only had to punt one time, and Miles did a good job on that punt. But his kickoffs were all in the end zone right at the 1-yard line, so it was fine.
Kind of where you expect that to be. Yeah. We've got Will Kriesky joining us to talk about the Riverdale Warriors. I know that no coach is ever happy with a loss, and you probably have spent most of the night coulda, woulda, shoulda done this and that, and but the biggest things that stand out to you, I think you mentioned it already. If you turn the ball over on the road, it's going to come back to bite you more times than not, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 turnovers against Beach, who's a top 5 program in 5A, and they're going to make a run this year. You can't do that against a team like that and be success, and expect a different outcome. So we got to do a better job protecting the ball, and that's something we'll start working on, and that we've been working on. It's just unfortunate things happened last night. And
really just trying to – I know you've had the all the summer and all that work and preseason and such, but you're still trying to mesh some pieces together, aren't you, really?
Yeah, we are. It's slowly coming together at times, not as fast as we'd like it to, and not as consistent as we want it. We got to be more consistent. At times we look really good on offense, and at times we look really bad. So we got to be more consistent and get more positive plays. We get too many times we get negative plays on first or second down, and that just really hurts. It's hard to call plays when you're behind the chains.
Well, a chance to come together, turn the page. There are a lot of one-loss teams that win state titles and make long runs in the playoffs. So time to regroup, and I'm sure this group of kids, you seem pretty high on them. They're going to be willing to come back and listen and learn.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's on the bus ride back. On my bus there wasn't a peep all the way back from Hendersonville to Riverdale, and so that showed me that they cared and it meant something to them. I mean, I've been on some buses trips where you got beaten. They're talking and laughing, and they already forgot about the game. So that loss meant a lot to these kids, and it tore them up, and so they're going to come back ready to work.
And going to Beach or to Hendersonville, that is I think one of the toughest mid-state trips to have to go on, just because of how you have to get there and the traffic, and you never know what it's going to be like.
No, that was a stressor. We left at 4 o'clock just because you wanted to make sure. You don't know how Nashville traffic, and like you said, there's no good way to get there. And so we got there in plenty of time. We got there at 5:15, so it was good. But we got to beat all the traffic and stuff. But yeah, there's no good way to get there.
Yeah. Well, the job does not get any easier for you guys next week. You are at home, but you have Germantown coming in from the Memphis area, Shelby County, and they are obviously a contender in that end of the state for sure.
Yeah, they're going to come out of the west side. It'll probably be them and Houston again in the quarterfinals on that side. 6A, and one of them will probably play maybe Ravenwood or somebody over in that area, Ravenwood or Brentwood from that area, that side, in the semifinals. So, we have to bring our game. Coach Gene Robinson is a really good friend of mine. His wife and nephew and my wife and kids got to spend some time in December together, and I really respect that guy, that coach, what he does, what he's done at Germantown. He's revived the Germantown. He's revived the Germantown community, and so I
mean they've had a rich tradition, and Riverdale fans will certainly know the '94 state championship game. There's a lot of good history there between the teams.
It is, and and that's what when we called and got this game, that's what he wanted to kind of revive and get the things back, in the Germantown program, and he's done a really good job. And I've kind of collaborate with him just to get ideas, and again he's he's one of those top coaches in the state, and he's going to have his club ready to play, and they're going to play hard. They lost 36-30 to Houston, and we all know how good Houston is from last year, and they returned everybody from their state championship team last year. So they played Houston real well. So we have to come ready to play and be focused. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling conflict, it's got to be our homecoming week, and I'm not excited about that, but it's part of high school, and you got to have homecoming, and it's for the student body. It's not for the football players. And if our kids decide to choose to be involved in all the homecoming activities and all that stuff going on, and being part of the royalty and all that, then we're not going to beat Germantown. We got to be focused on Riverdale football and focused on Germantown, because again, they got athletes all over the field. They're well coached, and if we get distracted, it's going to be a very long and upsetting, disappointing homecoming for us.
As soon as you said homecoming in the head of all coaches, it was dun dun dun. It's like, here's homecoming week, and so that's yet another thing that's going on. But and it's hard to tell a kid, hey, this is not for you. It's because it's football homecoming and you're a football player. But that's kind of a hard thing to do with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real hard to do. It's one of my toughest weeks of the season.
I bet.
So but we all deal with it, and not just me. It's every coach in the county and every coach in the state. So and we just got to get a plan together and be behind our plan and support our plan and tell our kids the plan. We just got to execute it. And if we don't execute the plan, it's going to be a long Friday night next week.
Well, I just know, seeing Houston last year, and if it was a 6-point ball game, some of those dudes in Houston were like gigantor. So, it should be a really good night to come out and see the Warriors. Brings home a lot of people too, though, doesn't it? Homecoming.
Yeah, it does. And again, it'll be a good crowd, and we'll have a good crowd. And it'd be nice to have all those people back at the stadium, and some of them that didn't get to see the turf a few weeks ago will be able to come out and see the turf and see how really good their stadium looks. And that place is looking good, and it's cleaning up, and it's looking nice. And I'm proud of all the facilities we have at Riverdale and what we got going on there. And it's a chance to showcase it and let all the alumni see it.
Well, I'm so old that I can remember when there was nothing there. So it should take pride in what's there. And certainly have a lot of support, especially from the administration and all the staff that's there. And I mean, it takes a lot of people to put on a football event on a Friday night, and then you put homecoming on top of that. It's even more, isn't it?
Yeah, our student council does a great job with it and getting it all set up, and they do it all. And it's first class how they run it. So
Well, Will, you can shake this one off and prepare for Germantown, and I'm sure that you'll have the attention of those young men this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's Will Kriesky joining us, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors, on the Coaches Show, brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's football time in Tennessee. Of course, that means tailgating and travel. Don't fumble due to a poorly maintained vehicle. At Dr. Automotive, we're here to help you score, whether it be a length of the field drive or a quick pick six. We'll help you tackle brake repair, heating issues, battery needs, and maintenance as you march downfield. We're on your team and here to make sure that you're ready for the big game. At Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Go deep.
At Little Caesars, get a large custom 2-topping pizza for only $7.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $7.99? Get out of here. This pizza is only $7.99. No way. This is $7.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $7.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Listen, pirate, stop taking my $7.99 pizza. Choose a large custom 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $7.99 when you order online. Only $7.99. What?
Pizza.
You've seen the ads out there, companies wanting to buy your home. But why sell yourself short when you can get fair market value? I'm Lisa Patton. If you have an estate to settle or a home to sell, call Parks Auction. We'll work with you to sell your home or property in any condition with no costly repairs on your timeline. Why accept one offer when you can have multiple? You need Parks Auction. We look out for your best interest. Call Parks Auction today. We handle everything.
You've heard people say,